Throughout my life, my father made and lost several fortunes in show business. The financial roller coaster of his business life would have an enormous impact on me. My mother was practical and somewhat depressed. Not only were there financial worries, but she had a child who was diagnosed as backward. My sister was called retarded, but only mildly so. Her condition also altered my life. I loved my sister, but there were times I hated her too, for being different, for making me feel different.
That was Barbara Walters reading from her new memoir called Audition, which is in stores today. And actually, when you write about your sister Jackie, you say it's the only thing that really makes you cry.
Yep.
Why?
I didn't know you were going to, okay. I almost called this book Sister because I thought the biggest influence in my life was my sister. She stuttered terribly. People made fun of her. People made fun of me. I didn't bring friends home. I felt terribly guilty because she was very loving, and I didn't always feel that way. I named my daughter after her because I knew that my sister would not have a child, and I wanted her to feel she had my Jackie. And part of the drive and part of the having to work and everything was because I had to take care of my sister. She taught me compassion. But I think anyone who has a sibling who is in any way disabled, and there are a lot of people with autistic children, and they're doing the most wonderful work, but there are also those moments when you go, it's too much. And when I think of her, because she was beautiful and loving and all of that, it makes me cry, okay?
Makes you cry.
Yeah.
And you also write poignantly about the day she died and how she died alone. And you were speaking in Milwaukee and managed to go on with the speech.
Well, you know, you talk about guilt.
Yeah.
She had ovarian cancer, and we didn't know in the beginning. She was complaining about having stomach aches, and it turns out that it was ovarian cancer is a silent killer. So I went down with her when she had the operation and left because I had to make a speech, for heaven's sakes. And I left her 2 days after the operation, and I said, you know, I'll be back. So I went to Milwaukee to make this speech.
To fulfill the obligation.
ABC, for ABC. I mean, it wasn't a speech for money, but I was auditioning. I was being perfect. And in the dressing room, they told me that my sister had had an aneurysm and had died. And they said, you're on. And I went out and made the most awful speech, but I made the speech. And I wasn't there when she died.
Yeah. You still regret that, Barbara?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. We'll be right back.